We're back here on the CRN TV on location set here at XChange August. I'm joined by Jen Follett and Steve Burke. I'm so excited to get your thoughts here about the show, about what you guys have been hearing. I keep hearing AI all the time, and I gotta ask, are people feeling a little fatigued about the AI conversation or not?
First of all, it's been a jam-packed event. I'll say that right off the top. So I think everyone's a little fatigued just in general. But I think this concept of AI fatigue, it's like a buzzy, funny thing to say, like, oh, AI. But listen, like AI, this is the same conversation we had around cloud. And cloud took like 10 years. We've talked about cloud. And there were people all along the way that were like, oh, enough about cloud. But we know it wasn't enough about cloud. And I think it's the same thing here with AI. It is not enough about, we are just on the very beginning cusp of what AI is going to be, what it's going to become. And if you're walking around talking about AI fatigue, that's not real.
Yeah.
That's not real.
Yeah.
There's so much more to come.
You might be fatigued that maybe you haven't seen the revenue come from it yet, but people are starting to see that actually, I think, Steve, right?
Yeah, I mean, my big takeaway from this event is the AI energy, excitement, and just how fast this AI revolution is being brought to SMB customers throughout the country by these MSPs. I mean, it's invigorating. You see these MSPs have refashioned their business, transformed their business with AI capabilities. AI's doing cold calling for them. AI's doing customer service. They're triaging, doing more with AI. And then they're going in and redoing customer workflows to save customers tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars with AI. So there's no AI fatigue. It's AI accelerate. And the fastest, as everybody has been saying here, the slowest it's going to go is today.
Yeah.
It's getting faster and faster and faster. And the thing I love about XChange is it always takes the pulse of the solution provider channel and the MSPs. And what we're seeing is more energy, excitement, and the fact that this is really being adopted at a breakneck pace by these MSPs.
Somebody talks about how like the worst version of AI that exists is what exists today. It's only going to get better, faster, more impressive from here.
Yeah. I'm curious on the vendor side, right? There are so many things that go into actually deploying AI, right? Which is why it's taking a while for all of this to kick into gear, but who is solving all of the kind of tangential problems, all the problems that surround actually deploying, some of these solutions? Who's actually going out there and making this work for partners?
Well, let's not get crazy and say we're solving all the problems, right? But
you're chipping away at that, though. Who's chipping away?
But
right,
yes, progress being made. And again, like the fast pace is incredible, right? So some of the vendors that were here were really talking about some pretty incredible things. For me, I really loved Halo, PSA, MSP platform focused, and they came out with AI Studio, which is allowing partners to create and configure and deploy AI agents, which, a critical piece of what we're going through with AI right now, AI agents, and really helping partners wrap their head around this. Tim Barton-Wines was on stage talking about how agents, could really take care of everything from service desk triage, sales, customer success, like just there's so many opportunities for how MSPs can deploy agents with their new AI Studio. Second for me, I think had to be ThreatLocker, a perennial favorite here, but they always come with a new story. And it's, this session, they were focusing on these really scary new threats that are coming from the LLMs themselves. This kind of broke with OpenAI talking about how their LLM had gone rogue and had attacked Hugging Face, and then like almost right on the heels came Anthropic Claude, and then came Meta. And so this is a scary new element where it's a little bit toward like the Terminator idea of like what happens when the LLMs get crazy. So they talked about that. And from the partner perspective though, just really hammering home on how the ring fencing concept that ThreatLocker brings to market, the idea that no one's trusted, zero trust right from the get-go, and just really spotlighting how important that is.
Steve, what about you? What are you hearing?
For me, Sophos continues to innovate with the upcoming launch. They took XChange by storm here and announced Sophos CISO Advantage. It's a new agentic AI security-powered platform that allows MSPs to become a virtual CISO for their customers and scale that business. And as Sophos Chief Evangelist Scott Barlow said, the average MSP now holds the CSO role for 48% of their customers, and 84% expect that responsibility to grow over the next 10, 12 months. And another thing Barlow pointed out is that there's one CSO for every 10,000 organizations. So a lot of companies don't have CISOs, which is, you really look at it, every company needs a virtual CISO or a CISO. Yeah. These attacks are just happening at such a breakthrough clip. And another great statistic, I want to get this in there, is Scott pointed out that there's $2.5 trillion being spent on AI right now. And that's 10 times more than's being spent on cybersecurity. So it shows you the problem. And as Jen pointed out, this whole issue with the LLMs going rogue, I mean, it's out of a science fiction movie. The other one that I loved, it was great to see ConnectWise Chief Product and Technology Officer David Rassapor here. It was a real eye-opener to see how much progress ConnectWise has made under CEO Manny Rebello in transforming the ConnectWise platform into an AI-powered offering that is really allowing MSPs to execute tasks autonomously. They've revamped the whole ConnectWise platform, and they're really moving towards a predictive IT platform that automatically, predicts the failures and stops them without human interaction. The great thing is some of the results are already showing up with partners. One partner reporting that 40 to 50 tickets now are automatically triaged daily with ConnectWise platform, and 30 plus hours of configuration work eliminated. So just so inspiring to see how fast they've moved over the last year to really step up their AI game.
We talk about AI, we talk about security, right? I feel like those are the big themes that we come out, which if you haven't listened to Security or Else, this new CRM podcast, yes. Kyle Osbach, please tune into that. Just got to give a quick plug there. But thank you so much for talking about the vendor side. I want to also dig in though, what are some of the interesting things that you're seeing partners do that they're talking about here that you maybe haven't seen in the past that's a complete kind of transformation for the MSP space?
For me, like one thing I really loved, PAX 8, Eric Torres had a panel, and he had several solution providers talking about this very thing. But one piece I really loved was Joe Ucia of Infinite IT Solutions. And he talked about how when they go into a customer and they deploy Copilot, that's not the end of it, that's the beginning. And what they do, they do intensive training up front, of course. But what they also do is for the next year, they request time at their customers' meetings. Like if they have a town hall or an all hands meeting, they request 10 minutes at each of those meetings for a regular cadence of training and education to make sure that customers really get it. And I loved that. I thought that was great.
Yeah. Steve, what about you?
Yeah, PAX 8 had a great Managed Intelligence Provider platform where Corey Kirkendall from 5K Technical Services talked about creating an AI agent, Cynthia, that's a customer service agent. It's transformed their customer service and really had allowed them to find tons of opportunities to drive sales growth. And similarly, Joe Ucia, you mentioned, CEO of Infinite IT Solutions, developed also an AI agent called Clara that's doing cold calling for them, and they've increased their sales leads through it. So it's really inspiring to see how these guys are reinventing their business with AI agents. It's happening right now. It's taken off.
Awesome, perfect. Well, somebody who has tried to implement platforms within our own company here, I can tell you how important the training part of it is. Sure. I can tell you how important the agent side of things are as we're incorporating that stuff at CRM at the channel company as well. So it's cool to see this reflected in the partner space and what they're doing. Anything else to add on that front?
Just one kind of last step of pulling all that together is it's so important, kind of what Steve touched on, that these solution providers implement and experiment with AI themselves so that they can go out into the market credibly and talk about what's possible. And that is just so key.
Well, thank you so much, Jen and Steve, for joining me. For more XChange coverage, please head over to the XChange Digital Newsroom to get all the latest. We've got tons of video, great news coverage. Go on, head on over there.